Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis call in preparation for trading on June 20th, 2017. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. If you have questions about your individual investment needs, I recommend you talk to your investment advisor. So let's start off by taking a look at our Forex factory. In terms of news here, upcoming here, not much going on today. We had or coming up here is the monetary policy meeting minutes for Australia. So this will be important for Australian dollar. All the commodity currencies have actually been quite strong lately. So depending on how this comes out, the monetary policy meeting minutes are positive if they are so the Reserve Bank of Australia is RBA is positive or hawkish on the economy, so that would give Australian dollar a boost and we could see it going up. If they are not that great, if they talk about maybe potential issues with the economy coming up and things like that, that will be negative for Australian dollar. So right now it's best to stay out of that. Okay, coming up on Tuesday here, tomorrow, Bank of England Governor Carney is speaking. Now, with the Bank of England, we did have more people voting to raise rates, which had given it a boost, but still it is holding below that critical level that we'll take a look at. But what Bank of England Governor Carney says that could have an impact on British pounds, so that we have to be careful with. And then we have Swiss National Bank. So two banks in the London session. Going into the New York session, we just have FOMC member Fisher speaking. We do have the current account, which is the trade balance number, which will be important, but no big major news coming out tomorrow. Okay, so let's move on to the charts. Okay, so let's start off with our euro here. So the euro, now we had seen euro push up on Friday. Most currencies had pushed up on Friday, but here what we see is that it has held below this 12.20, like it hasn't been able to make it all the way up to this level. So we did not get a bullish engulfing candle, and as a result of that, we saw price basically come down. The target to the downside here is 1100 that we have looked at previously. When price moved here, we were looking for it to move down further, but it pulled back and hadn't come back on Friday. So today it's back again. So based on the daily close here, we are bearish on this, looking for a 1100 as the target or 1105 as the target. So in this one, bearish bias. So where do we sell? Right now it's into support, so not the best level to sell from. So in terms of the selling levels, we are looking at either this 1190, 1200 level for selling, or even into this pivot point, which is 1167 area, could be a potential area, or 1180. So essentially we're looking for a pullback in this so we can sell. It is already into, see this, it's into the support here, so that's not a best level to sell unless it closes with a bearish candle here, and then we look for a bit of a pullback and then sell. So these are the two levels for selling. One would be the break of this level that it's currently at. So it's at 1140. If it breaks down below that, we're looking for a break and then a pullback and selling into that, right into this level. Or a better pullback level would be this one right here, which is 1180. And then we look for sell at that level. So 1180 level could be a good level to sell from. So those are the two levels. So pivot point is third level that I like. So what I like about pivot point is, one, it's pivot point, so prices tend to pull up into the pivot point, but look at the support and resistance area as well. So it lines up quite nicely with that support resistance area back here as well. So let's take a quick look at 4 hours. So that from 4 hour perspective too, that's a nice support and resistance area. So in this case, we could see a push up into the pivot, which is about 1167, and then another drop to the downside. The target is this here, the bottom of this pin, which is 1100. So the bias is bearish on euro US dollar here. Pound dollar, we saw a drop in this. This is quite a nice close actually, and I am tempted to sell this one right here. So important thing about pound dollar close here is that we haven't been able to breach this level. We haven't closed above this 12800 level, and now we have had a nice pin bar. So this basically is a very good area to, or this shows that bearish bias on pound dollar. So we're looking for essentially a move to the downside. The target here would be a 126.40 area, but the first target will be this 126.90, so about 2700, which is this support and resistance right here. And then we are essentially looking for price to move down, so 126.40 will be the target to the downside. And if you take a look at a 1 hour here, as we can see, price hasn't broken this level for quite some time. We had looked at this support resistance area last week, and as we can see, price hasn't quite broken down here through this level. The only thing to watch out for with this is the Bank of England. That's their announcement tomorrow. So we may see a pullback into pivot point and then a drop, or if for some reason we see price go all the way into 12800, that will be an area to watch, because that could present another selling opportunity in pound dollar tomorrow. But one thing to just keep in mind, the central bank, Bank of England, Governor Carney is speaking, and that could create some volatility here. So in that case, if the price goes up to 12800 or even 128.20 area, those will be two important points to pay attention to. The biases to the downside, looking for 126.40 area. Dollar CAD here. Dollar CAD has been interesting. So we have seen price basically now it's rotating. It's just going sideways here. We had a big bullish pin bar, which pushed the price up into the next support and resistance area. And from there, we have seen it drop, engulfing candle, a little bit of a follow through, but not much. And this is where we are. At this point, it looks range bound. And in terms of where we are looking for this, I do see a rejection right into C. This is a rejection from previous support and resistance area, but it's not the clearest pair or the cleanest one to trade. The price, I like this 132.75 or 80 area for a potential sell. So if this moves up, we could look for this level for a potential selling opportunity, which is 132.75 or 80 area. So we may see something like this, but if price comes down into 131.66 area, then we may see a bounce from the bottom. So we could see a double bottom type of situation. So we'll have to watch out for that as well. But at this point, it looks range bound. Here we are, as we can see, price hasn't really moved out of this range. So this is the range that price has established for the last few days, and it's gotten tighter now. See how price hasn't moved much at all. So in terms of pips here, very, very narrow trading today, 66 pips for today. So in this case, we are looking at, so let's mark some levels. 133.00 will be a potential selling opportunity, and 131.66 would be a buying opportunity. So we're looking to bracket the market here because it is range bound. Aussie dollar here, going into the announcement, it looks bearish. So just like the British pound here and euro as well, we have not been able to break this 76.30 level in the last 4 days. As a result, the way it has closed because of rejection here, we are bearish on this, but we do have announce the monetary policy meeting minutes, which will have an impact on this. So, but right now, because of this rejection, we are bearish on this, looking for price to come down. And target, the first target in this case would be into the support and resistance level, which is 75.66. But this is the level. 75.30 is the level we are looking at, which is the bottom of this big candle that moved the price up. So first target will be 75.65 and second one 75.30. And if you take a look at 1 hour perspective, as we can see, we have seen double top here, then quadruple top, another double top here. This basically shows that price wants to move lower. We may see it come into, like I said, this will be the first target, 75, about 67.70 area. And then the second target is this one, 75.20-ish area. So bias is also to the downside on this. New Zealand US dollar, looking at the daily, a very nice pin bar here, looking for price to move lower. We have made a lower high here, nice pin bar, so looking for another move to the downside. In terms of target, it will be this one, 71.70 would be the first target, and then we are looking at this one here, which is 71.50. So we'll mark the 71.50 area. We're looking for price to move lower here as well. In terms of the 1 hour here, we could see a pullback into pivot point here because that looks like a good level, 75.20 area, or sorry, 72.50 area. So it's the 50 level, it's also the pivot point, and it's the support resistance level. So if we were to draw a line through here, it looks really good. Here we are, looks nice. So we could see price do one of these moves, so we'll have to watch out for that. If anything that happens with Australian dollar could have an impact on this, so I would recommend watching the news that comes out on Aussie if you're wanting to trade this. So we'll just have to keep an eye on the news there because it could have impact on this one as well. EuroCAD here. EuroCAD has been bearish. We got a nice close, and now we're looking for a further move to the downside. The first target here is 14700 level. It's at 4740 at the moment, so 4700 will be the first target. And then we are looking for 14600. So those are the next two targets to the downside here. This area looks good, 146.28, so that looks good as well. But let's say 14600, nice even number. So in this case, bearish bias, a very nice engulfing candle close. We're looking for a further move to the downside, so 14700 is the first target. So looking at the 1 hour, we can see price has been moving lower, and we could see it go back and test this level, 147.75 area. So we could see price push up and then do one of these. So go and test this 147.70 level and then drop further. So I would keep an eye on that level. Or 147.60-ish area is another level to pay attention to. But as long as price stays below this level, we're looking for a further move to the downside. Based on the daily, this certainly looks bearish. Euro Aussie here, this looks bearish as well, but again, this will be impacted by the news that comes out today. But overall, just based on the daily close, we are looking bearish here, and it's already into our target level here of 146.47. The next target here is 145.90, so that's not too far. So 145.50 level here, coming all the way from back here. So 145.50 will be the next target to the downside, but we are into support here because we have not broken this level in quite some time. So it didn't stay below, nice close, but we are into support. So be mindful of that. And next target is right there, 145.50 level. And here's our 1 hour. So it's sitting into support here. So that's where we'll have to watch out and pull back. In terms of pullback, we could get a pullback into there, 47.11 level, or 47.20 level. So we could see a pullback and then a drop. That's something to pay attention to. Okay, pound, let's look at the yen crosses here. So yen has been very strong. This is pound yen. Even though pound is weak, yen itself has been weak. As a result of that, yen crosses have been very strong. So into resistance here, if this goes further, we are looking at 142.70 area for pound yen. And based on the close here, it does look bullish, but into resistance. So we're looking for further move to the upside. The next target would be 143.70 level, which is right there. So first we have to contend with 142.70 level. This is important support. Price had trouble with this level, so we could expect price to have trouble here as well. Once it gets across this one, 143.70 would be the next target to the upside. Here we are, as we can see, it is sort of pushing upwards here. If we draw a little trend line, there we are, it is pushing higher. So we could see price go into 142.70 area and then further. So yen crosses are looking bullish at the moment. Dollar yen as well, very bullish close right into the top here, into resistance. The next target here will be 112.80 level. 112.80 would be the next one. We have another one, 112, but that is, we're almost at it. So 112 will be the first, and then we're looking at 112.80. So those are the two target levels to the upside. Euro and yen, let's take a look here. Euro yen has been bullish, but this one is not as bullish as dollar yen. And we are going into resistance here at 124.60 level. The next target, once it breaches that level, will be 125.00, right into the top here. But it is going into resistance, and the candle close here is not overly bullish. Very small daily candle, which is basically just shows uncertainty in the market with this one at this point. So 124.66 will be the target to the upside, and then here we could see price come into resistance. If we don't, then 125 will be the next target to the upside. And as we can see from the daily, very small close here, sorry, very small range, but we are holding above this previous support and resistance level, so we'll have to just watch out for that. If it starts to kind of go sideways here, then tomorrow we are likely to see, so it may just turn into a compressed move and then it may drop. But at this point, this is a very neutral daily close, so but it did close up higher than it opened. As a result, we're looking for a bit of a move to the upside here. So that's all I have. Anything else we need to look at, or any questions? Okay, so we will call it a wrap.